what a magical season it was. Hi, I'm Rick Jenneret. The 96-97 Buffalo Sabres season was one to be remembered and to be cherished. New uniforms, state-of-the-art Marine Midland Arena, and most of all, the play on the ice. It made us all proud of a team that, quite honestly, I thought would have been battling for a playoff spot. It was a headline year. Oh, some of it controversial, but all of it extraordinary. And the players who wore these uniforms knew that they could compete with the rest and the best of the entire National Hockey League. It wasn't long before everybody sat up and took notice. I wish my friend Seymour could have been here for this ride. We would like to dedicate this highlight video to the memory of the late Seymour H. Knox III. I hope you enjoy.
My brother Norrie and I are by no means known as gamblers. However, in 1970, we gambled that Buffalo would be a great place for a National Hockey League franchise. And we won that gamble.
Now and forever, you are a part.
Seymour was a man that put his heart and soul into everything he did, and he gave everything to the Sabres. There's not too many owners in the league that would come into the dressing room every night after a game and shake the guy's hands, win or lose, and thank them and congratulate them. And he was a gentleman that made it feel like a family.
When we did win in Boston that night, we all sat back and thought of Seymour, and especially the guys that have been here for a few years, and almost sad actually that he wasn't around to enjoy it.
And think about all the words.
Every time you walk out onto the ice, there's a picture of him in the hallway, and that reminds you every day who gave us all this opportunity and who is the driving force behind the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, most of all, I want to pay tribute tonight to my brother Seymour, the heart and soul of the Sabres, the creator of the franchise, who has worked so hard for so many years on behalf of our team. We would not be here tonight except for his perseverance and his leadership. He is an extraordinary human being, a wonderful guy, and we owe him a huge debt of gratitude.
September 21st, 1996. Sabres fans flocked to the $127 million, 700,000 square foot state-of-the-art Marine Midland Arena. A capacity crowd of over 18,000 packed the arena and were treated to a show they will never forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time on Marine Midland Arena ice, I am pleased to present the Buffalo Sabres.
It was very exciting, I think, especially for a guy that's like myself that's been around for a while, that some things get a little stale and old, and new uniforms, new building, it was like a whole new team for me.
Ladies and gentlemen, putting together your 1996-97 Buffalo Sabres.
Obviously, at the very beginning when we had our season opener against Detroit, it was, everybody was like, holy crap. We didn't know what to expect.
Nobody expected such a bad start to the season. After losing 2 of their first 3 games on a Western road trip, the Sabres suffered disappointing losses in their first 2 home games and were off to an abysmal 1-4 start. Unfortunately, it took them a while to get used to the new, bigger ice surface at the arena.
I think the first few games, it hurt us a little bit. We really weren't used to it. But I think it took us a good month to get our game going.
The Sabres' problems were not only on the ice. On November 1st, team president Doug Moss resigned. and Larry Quinn was named the new president of the organization. Pat LaFontaine helped lead the United States to an exciting World Cup championship. However, his success did not carry over to the start of the NHL season. In the sixth game against Pittsburgh, LaFontaine received his fifth concussion that would eventually end his season.
Although LaFontaine has not been cleared to play hockey, it is expected that he will fully recover and return to active status.
I think through all the adversity that we went through, with the Jumbotron going down, with Patty's injury, we totally grew together as a team.
The $5 million scoreboard was supposed to be the centerpiece of the state-of-the-art Marine Midland Arena. However, on November 16th, that idea came crashing down due to a mechanical failure. The new and improved scoreboard was ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs. Every great season has turning points, and the Sabres had three critical ones. November 14th versus Stanley Cup champion Colorado.
Again to Pekka. Pekka gets it over the line, around the defense, took his shot, scores! Michael Pekka shot it. Pulls it in, shot it. The puck goes in, the Buffalo Sabres have scored! Holzinger was packed up in the Buffalo Sabres defeat the Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche 5-4.
November 21st versus arch-rival Toronto.
Fires a shot right on. Footman to save the rebound. It's stuffed in on the rebound by Matt Barnaby. He came back and made the play. It's hammered by Pekka.
And probably most important, January 12th at Phoenix.
I was going in overtime. Teddy, mentioned to me, he told me to go out and, and get us a goal, get us a big goal for the team.
Stole the puck. Here's Daw. Score!
I went out and fortunately for us, Dave Manson tripped over the puck, and I went on a breakaway on Phoenix goalie Happy Gulen, and put it by him on his gloved hand. Looking back on it right now, on our season, I don't know if it was that goal or whatever, but that game, especially for the team, we had a lot of big goals from different guys, and it was definitely probably the turnaround for our team.
His accomplishments speak for themselves. While standing on proven ground, Dominik Hasek thrives on beating the odds, challenging any and all who approach his very home, his domain, his net.
Hasek just robbed Ure! Ure throws his arms up. He cannot believe it. But here's Lemieux with a breakaway. Shoots. Hasek the save.
Despite what we were being outshot or what the matchups were or anything, Dom always gave us a chance to win.
With Dominik playing as good as he did this year, that was a huge confidence booster for us.
For Dominik, his goal is simply to be the best, topping his peers in save percentage the last 4 seasons. And in January, he proved to be among the best in the NHL, having been chosen to the 1997 NHL All-Star Game in San Jose, California. Dominik would once again light up the stage in front of millions of fans.
From the Buffalo Sabres, number 39, Dominik Hasek.
Watch the rebound. Here it comes, that left hand. Oh, baby, Hasek.
He would face 21 shots, yielding but one blemish and making many a fan take notice.
How did he stop that one?
I don't be talking about this, man, for a long time. It's been fabulous. What a show.
After the All-Star game, Dominik would continue his assault on the opponent's sharpshooters while earning their ultimate respect as well.
Big shot, kicked away, rebound. Oh, Hasek! Oh, my, call a cup! Hasek with an enormous save on.
The buzz around the NHL would begin. Could a goalie win the Most Valuable Player award? While many thought possible, some thought unrealistic, for not since Jacques Plante in 1962 had a goalie done so. But for the Sabres, they relied on his ability to shut the opposition down, giving them a chance to win each night.
We've said all year that there's not a better goalie in the world and not a more valuable player to his team than Dom was to us. There's no question about that. He did things that no one else can do, and he was the most important factor in our season.
Showcasing his unique style, using every part of his arsenal, he was certainly the city of Buffalo's most valuable player, and as each game would pass and as each save was made, Dominik Hasek would anticipate the next challenge of defending his domain. Following the All-Star break, the Sabres returned to the friendly confines of the Marine Midland Arena, playing 14 of their next 16 games in Buffalo. The first opponent was the Chicago Blackhawks. The Sabres played well, getting scoring, goaltending, and hitting from all sources.
Well, it was a work of art again by Dominik Hasek.
Then division rival Montreal came to town, only to fall 6-1. Following the big win versus Pittsburgh, the Sabres took on Dallas, proving that they were indeed legit. The Sabres were rolling, and winning was fun.
Started winning some games, started having some success, and it just became an addiction. The guys just started loving winning, and it became so much fun that we just thought we couldn't lose for a while.
Sports Illustrated featured the team in its February 10th issue, proving that the Sabres' success was no longer a secret. The team was getting outstanding play from all the players as the unbeaten streak reached 8 games. After manhandling the Bruins, the Sabres' unbeaten streak had reached 12 for the hardest working team in hockey. A look at the standings before the homestand show the Sabres in a respectable 5th in the conference. However, by the end of the streak, the Sabres were leading their division and closing in on Philadelphia for the top spot in the conference. In the opening round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Northeast Division champion Sabres met the Ottawa Senators, who were out to prove that they weren't just happy to be in the playoffs. After a back-and-forth first period, the Sabres finally broke through. And this series became a battle. Game 2 started off right where Game 1 left off. The Senators came out flying, scoring the first 2 goals and leading start to finish. But the Sabres did not go easily. Game 3 followed with chances at both ends. Randy Bird scored on a nice play to put the Sabres on the board. Then the unthinkable happened. Dominik Hasek injured his knee. Just over 2 minutes later, the Senators went up 2-1. But the Sabres responded to the challenge as Darryl Shannon scored to tie the game, and with 19 seconds left, Dixon Ward won it.
Anytime you can do something like that, you get fortunate enough to get that opportunity to score a big-time winning goal, then it's something you never forget.
The series had become a true rivalry. Steve Shields and Ron Tugnut now took center stage. Regulation ended in a 0-0 tie. But early in the overtime, the Senators capitalized to tie the series at 2 games apiece. By Game 5, it was evident that these 2 teams didn't exactly care for each other.
This one broke out with Bugner firing punches in front of the net with Lambert and the boogeyman and Lambert going at it.
Daniel Alfredson scored twice as the Senators took a 3-2 series advantage. Now the Sabres had their backs against the wall going back to Ottawa. They showed exactly what they were made of.
All I can say is Steve Shields, I believe made himself a career. And, if anybody ever doubted Steve Shields, he was great.
Huge victory here in the Corel Center to send this series to a deciding game.
Playing in a Game 7 is what every player dreams about, and the game lived up to expectations.
Most exciting day of my life. It was amazing. I've never felt anything like it. I've never been part of a winning team or a Game 7 before.
The Senators scored first, while the Sabres didn't break through until late in the second period.
Dead crashes the net. Buffalo has tied it at 1.
The Senators scored again in the third to regain the lead, but once again, the Sabres responded. Here is a moment Sabres fans will always remember.
Tapping it behind the net. Yali comes out of it there and banks it off the glass all the way to center. Back again by Duchesne, knocked down by Platt. Platt slides in over the line. Platt took his shot. Are you ready, Legion of Doom? Here come the Buffalo Sabres.
Winning overtime in Game 7 was probably one of the most exciting hockey moments I think a lot of guys have experienced in their career so far.
When I saw Derek score that, I knew the feeling. I had scored a goal in overtime in the past, and what a great feeling that is to win a series.
Round 2 brought the Flyers to Buffalo in an old rivalry, which had become even more bitter during the regular season.
There they go! Shield firing punches at Carl Snow! They're having right in front of the bench!
the young Sabres showed the Flyers no respect. The series moved to Philadelphia with the Sabres down 2-0. The Flyers won Game 3, but still the Sabres would not stop battling. And in Game 4, an unlikely hero kept the Sabres alive, winning the game in overtime.
Rebound, Eddie Ronan coming off the bench.
But the Flyers prevailed in Game 5, ending the Sabres season, while they went on to the Stanley Cup Finals. The 1997 NHL Awards ceremony proved to be a big night for the Buffalo Sabres. Dominik Hasek led the league in save percentage again and made over 2,000 saves. No wonder they call him the Dominator.
It's a big honor for me to win this trophy again. It really is a tribute to my teammates, how hard they work in front of me. I want, in accepting this trophy, I want to tell them that I accept this trophy in their honor, because without them I wouldn't be here. Thank you, guys.
Dominik didn't mention him by name, but center Michael Pekka stood out all year long as the best defensive player in the NHL. His 6 shorthanded goals were the most in the league, and although his job was to shut down the opponent's top scorers, Pekka still scored 20 goals and led the Sabres with a +26 rating. Before being named the Selke Award winner, Pekka was uneasy about being placed among the NHL elite.
I feel like I'm crashing somebody's party. I was telling somebody that earlier. It's pretty overwhelming stuff.
That's exactly what opposing teams felt about the hard-hitting Pekka.
No, by no means is this an individual award for me. I mean, I had line mates and teammates that busted their butts all year long, and of course having Dominik Hasek between the pipes makes it a lot easier for anybody to play well defensively.
The Jack Adams Award goes to Ted Nolan.
Winning the Adams in just his second year behind the bench, Ted Nolan guided the Buffalo Sabres to their first divisional title since 1981.
In the 73-year history of the Hart Trophy, only 4 goaltenders have been awarded this prestigious honor. In fact, 24 consecutive forwards had won the award until a man they called the Dominator came along.
And to the most valuable player, the Hart Trophy.
It's hard to open this thing, I guess.
Dominik Hasek.
Already tonight's Vezina winner, Dominik Hasek is the first goalie to win the Hart since Jacques Plante 35 years ago.
It's a fantastic honor for me, you know. After winning Vezina Trophy a couple of minutes ago, and Pearson Trophy from the who voted all the players for me. This is something I cannot describe in words. I cannot forget the Buffalo Sabres fans. You are terrific in Buffalo. I truly believe I play much better because of your support.
The Buffalo Sabres today have decided to terminate the relationship with John Muckler as general manager, effective immediately. We have some improvement we have to make in the organization and get ourselves in a position where we're stronger in our communication and our ability to lead ourselves to the Stanley Cup.
I'm very proud to announce that the new general manager of the Buffalo Sabres is Darcy Regier.
First of all, I'd like to say that I'm extremely proud to be a Buffalo Sabre and a part of the Buffalo Sabre family.
In joining the Buffalo Sabres family, Regier comes from a long relationship with the New York Islanders, where he served most recently as assistant general manager, as well as assistant coach and director of hockey administration. One of Darcy's first responsibilities was hiring a head coach.
I have made a recommendation to the team president that has been accepted and unanimously endorsed by the ownership. The Buffalo Sabres have decided to offer Ted Nolan a contract commensurate with his experience and accomplishment. I've offered Ted a one-year extension to see if we can build the type of relationship that is critical to putting a winning team on the ice.
Ted Nolan rejected Regier's offer, and his tenure with the Buffalo Sabres ended.
It's with great pleasure today to introduce the new head coach of the Buffalo Sabres, Lindy Ruff.
Thanks, Darcy, and obviously I'm very excited about coming back to Buffalo, coming back to my hometown, which I made home for 12 years. It's a city I've got a lot of great feelings about, and put the backbone of my career was here in Buffalo.
Lindy Ruff returns to Buffalo after assistant coaching stints with the Florida Panthers in the NHL, San Diego Gulls in the IHL, and the Rochester Americans in the AHL. Ruff was a 12-year veteran in the National Hockey League, 10 of which were spent in Buffalo.
I'm very excited to be here in Buffalo, and especially to work with a young head coach like Lindy Ruff.
There's a great nucleus of young players on the team. Pekka, Barnaby, Holzinger, McKee, along with a world-class goaltender in Dominik Hasek. And I can't wait to get the season started.
Last season was built on drive. Drive by a team of young players backed by the best goaltending on the planet. Blocking out distractions, defying the odds, the 96-97 Buffalo Sabres proved to the hockey world that to get respect, you have to earn it. You have to fight for it. They were the talk around the league. And having kept this club largely intact, it's no telling how far they might go this year. It's all about desire to win. The players, the entire organization, appreciate your support. I'm Rick Jeanneret, and I can't wait to start the new season. Let's get cracking.